Welcome to Jamaica Magazine. I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for joining us on this Wednesday as we bring you another engaging mix of information, insight, and everyday relevance. On today's program, we look back at key developments from the Ministry of Tourism in 2025 and how they've helped shape the sector. We'll also explore the American crocodile right here in Jamaica. Plus, if you've ever struggled with acne, we'll share practical tips on managing it and caring for your skin. All that, along with the latest news you've come to expect, right here on Jamaica Magazine. Stay with us.
Good day, I'm Lisa Rowe and this is your JIS News for Wednesday, January 14, 2026. All 1,010 schools island-wide are now operational, according to Acting Chief Education Officer Terrian Thomas Gale. She made the announcement during today's post-cabinet media briefing at Jamaica House. Mrs. Thomas Gale reports that all 446 schools across the 7 most severely impacted parishes have reopened. These include the Region 3 schools in St. Anne and Trelawney, Hanover, St. James and Westmoreland in Region 4, and the Region 5 parishes of Manchester and St. Elizabeth.
We have 123 institutions in Region 3. We have 109 currently operating a face-to-face modality. We have 14 using the rotational schedule, and our exam grades are given priorities for face-to-face. The rotational schedule is used for the other grades.
In Region 4, the most affected, 124 of 164 schools are operating face-to-face, while 37 are on rotational schedules. In Region 5, all 162 schools have been reopened, 135 of them face-to-face, 7 on rotation, 19 on reduced schedules, and 1 engaging remotely.
Our reopening policy saw us really putting safety first. We ensured that we work closely with the Ministry of Health and Wellness and to ensure that the space for our students safe and ready for operation. We do practice through education in emergency, different operational modalities, and these not only include face-to-face but remote and staggered approach.
Mrs. Thomas Gale says the main challenge is preventing some institutions from returning fully to face-to-face instruction are infrastructure repair timelines, electricity restoration, and water supply issues, including tank replacement. Also coming out of this week's post-cabinet press briefing is that students without a transportation card will not be allowed to access the rural school bus program when the cashless system takes effect on February 1, 2026. That's the forewarning from Transport Minister Darrell Vaz, who says the cashless payment system is now ready for activation. The minister is urging parents to register their children and ensure their student transportation cards are topped up, as cash will not be accepted on the buses.
Come February 1st, if you do not have a student card, and you have not topped up your student card to pay the subsidized fare of $50, you will be going back to the old system of paying $300 to $600 a day and going through the trauma of competing with the adults for transportation. So it is both cost effective for you to get the card, safer for your children to travel that way, and more convenient.
Students have been using the buses free of cost since September. Minister of Education, Senator Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon, says school-based registration for student transportation cards will begin on January 19.
All school safety and security officers and our guidance counselors and deans of disciplines will be going across our schools to do school-based registrations of the children. They have 280 tablets that have been supplied by eLearning Jamaica.
Giving an update on the program's progress so far, Minister Vaz indicates that 82 buses have been deployed since the start of the 2026 academic term. He adds that additional drivers have been onboarded to meet increased demand and ensure the continuity and effectiveness of the service. The Forestry Department has developed a relief initiative to help rebuild our forest ecosystem, which was devastated in some parts by upwards of 100% with the passing of Hurricane Melissa. In a statement to Parliament on Tuesday, Minister of Water, Environment and Climate Change, Matthew Samuda, said the program would run from January to June of this year. It will also serve as a long-term resilience building intervention for forest recovery going forward.
The Forestry Department will replant some 300,000 seedlings, with more than 170,000 directed to priority watersheds, with some 50,000 within urban and peri-urban areas. Importantly, no less than 30,000 of these trees will be fruit trees, ensuring that ecological restoration goes hand in hand with food security, livelihoods, and community resilience.
Building on that, Minister Samuda says Phase 2 of the National Tree Planting Initiative will be integrated into the relief program. Phase 2 was halted by the COVID-19 pandemic, having successfully planted 3 million trees over 5 years in Phase 1. The projected launch for the second phase is the end of January into early February, with tree planting activities to take place across forest reserves, private lands, mangrove ecosystems, and urban centers.
These locations are not merely symbolic. They are strategic, representing the integrated approaches government is taking, linking forests to water, sustainable land husbandry, climate resilience to food security, national policy, and most importantly, community action.
The Northeast Regional Health Authority, NERA, has added 4 new ambulances to the region's fleet to strengthen healthcare delivery. This brings the region's total fleet of ambulances to 24 and total fleet of vehicles to 59. Regional Director for NERA, Fabia Lam, says 1 ambulance will be assigned to the St. Anne Health Department and 1 each to the St. Anne's Bay Regional, Port Maria, and Port Antonio hospitals.
With this acquisition, our intent is the outcome will be improving patient outcomes. We'll be enhancing the staff conditions, so they will have better vehicle, better transport, the proper transport to move patients, and it will enhance our medical services to our stakeholders within the region.
With this handover, the St. Anne's Bay Hospital will now have 7 ambulances in its fleet, while the Port Maria and the Port Antonio hospitals will now move to 4, and the St. Anne Health Department 3 ambulances. And finally, the St. James Municipal Corporation is exploring the establishment of night markets in downtown Montego Bay. This forms part of a strategic initiative to support vendors who derive the majority of their income during evening hours. Mayor of Montego Bay and Chairman of the corporation, Councillor Richard Vernon, revealed the plans while engaging vendors on Lower Market Street on Friday. The proposal is guided by data showing that vendors generate peak revenues on Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, particularly between 12 noon and 6 p.m., and again from 7 p.m. to 1 a.m.
While some vendors will make their high peak revenue during that period, other vendors such as those selling soup, porridge, and you name it, food vendors, they will sell more at certain times of the day, early morning, lunchtime, and in the afternoon. So we are looking at the night vending as an opportunity for those who actually make most of their revenue in the after 7 belts. And then we will look at the area and see how best we can facilitate them within that space.
Mayor Vernon says the implementation of night vending must be clearly aligned with local economic development objectives.
There are vendors here who have used this business to send their children to school. There are vendors here who survive from this on a daily basis, not just to come on a grand market night or a one-off situation to make money, but this is their livelihood.
The announcement comes as the St. James Municipal Corporation concluded an extended grant market period, which was introduced as a relief measure following Hurricane Melissa. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Lisa Rowe. Thanks for watching.
And now we start with a year in review, highlighting the Ministry of Tourism's key wins and developments in 2025.
New flights, staff development, local first policy, a mega tourism and real estate project, and the ministry's response to Melissa. Here are 5 of the moments that drove tourism in 2025.
As we expand globally, we must ensure that the benefits of tourism remain local. To this end, the Ministry of Tourism is establishing the Local First Policy, a new direction for tourism development built on the extraordinary success of the Tourism Linkages Network.
To push this new local first policy, a high-level task force was established with the Tourism State Minister Tova Hamilton charged with leading it. Under the task force, 6 technical working groups were put in place to focus on gastronomy, health and wellness, sports and entertainment, shopping, agriculture and manufacturing. They will be working to ensure that Jamaican farmers, artisans, manufacturers, transport operators, entertainers, and micro-entrepreneurs have the first opportunity to supply hotels and other tourism enterprises. New flights to the island introduced new markets to the sector, fresh patronage, and increased income in 2025. By the end of August, stopover arrivals were up to 4.1% over 2024, while earnings grew by 5.6%. Helping to ferry this growth were additional capacity out of the United States, Canada, and Europe, along with Latin America.
We now are connected very strong through our commercial partnerships with Copa Airlines, LATAM, Avianca, and we are tapping into the fast-growing markets of Brazil, Colombia, Chile, and Ecuador.
The ministry patronized and built on staff training within the industry last year. A gastronomy academy was launched. 6 hotels participated in the program, and 20 executive sous chef students were trained and certified.
We are forging strategic partnerships along the culinary value chain and building compliant gastronomy subsectors that can be marketed as stores and package experiences.
A tourism entertainment academy was also opened in partnership with the Ministry of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport. The $50 million intervention is focused on members of the arts genre with the goal of giving them world-class training and certification. The $1 billion Harmony Cove development was one of tourism's biggest additions in 2025. A partnership between the government and Nexus Collection, the mega tourism and real estate project spans 2,300 acres. The multi-phase development will feature luxury hotels, residential villas, and entertainment offerings, including a casino. It's set to generate thousands of jobs.
This Harmony Cove development stands as a powerful testament to the unwavering confidence that investors have in Jamaica's tourism industry and the overall economic climate.
On October 28, Hurricane Melissa hit Jamaica, causing devastation to the western side of the island and a chunk of the tourism product. The government sprang into action, responding with strength and assurance for locals and visitors alike. The ministry activated a high-level Hurricane Melissa Recovery Task Force and a companion Tourism Resilience Coordination Committee dubbed Tourism Cares. With the government putting up $600 million and private sector stakeholders $400 million, a $1 billion fund was established to help tourism workers affected by the storm.
To the tourism workers of Jamaica, we see you, we value you, and we will stand with you as you rebuild. There is no tourism without the workers.
300 industry workers benefited from a pilot mental health intervention program implemented by the Tourism Product Development Company, TPDCO. And a tourism housing assistant recovery program was launched to support the rebuilding efforts of about 5,000 workers whose homes were damaged by the hurricane. The sector rebounded, welcoming over 300,000 tourists just 5 weeks after the storm, and officially declared 71% ready for arrivals by the start of the winter tourist season on December 15.
Jamaica is open, ready, and welcoming to the world once again.
And that's the Ministry of Tourism's 5 in 2025. Here are some honorable mentions from the year.
Buses for commuters and schoolers. Major energy deals strengthening Jamaica's future. A coordinated response after Hurricane Melissa. This past year, the Ministry of Energy, Transport and Telecommunications delivered it all.
The American crocodile found in Jamaica is a native species that inhabits coastal wetlands, rivers, and mangroves, playing a vital role in maintaining healthy ecosystems. Learn more next.
It is a humongous reptile that drives fear into most people, and rightfully so. But the National Environment and Planning Agency, NEPA, wants Jamaicans to know that this is not at all true for the American crocodile, the only species of crocodile found in Jamaica.
One of the things that we want people to understand is there are various species of crocodiles. Our species here in Jamaica is the American crocodile, and they are not as aggressive as most of the other species.
Species like the Nile and saltwater crocodiles are vastly more aggressive, adapting to their environs and capable of catching other big animals like zebras and buffaloes, etc.
Persons tend to attack the crocodiles if they see them. They tend to see a crocodile and not leave it alone. They think that, the mere presence of the crocodile is a threat.
But the American crocodile, found here mainly in wetlands, rivers, swamps, and coastal areas, is much more passive than other species. Its nature is mostly shy and reclusive, avoiding human contact, with a diet consisting of crabs, birds, and fish, things that don't require a lot of aggression because of their lack of hunting drive. But still, they have to endure the misconceptions of more aggressive crocodiles.
There are a lot of misconceptions and fear-based reactions that persons have about crocodiles. There's a lot of fear, and to a certain degree, rightfully so. They are large predators. They can be harmful, but a cow or a dog is equally or more so harmful, and persons encounter those fairly regularly and get more injuries than crocodiles.
A lot of people have the conception that the animals are out to get you. Like they're coming in your space because they're hungry and they want to eat you and all of these things.
Ideas that are fueled by movies and documentaries. And with more infrastructure being built and people moving into wetland areas to live, more Jamaicans are coming into contact with crocodiles, a recipe for disaster, not just for humans, but the animals too. Institutions like the Holland Bay Crocodile Sanctuary in St. Thomas aid in their preservation.
One of the biggest threats when it comes down to the population of the species, aside from habitat loss, is poaching, human interaction, all of these things. So a facility like this allows for people, the general public, to come and understand how the animals operate.
It's basically getting people exposed to this particular species as well as the type of environment they live in, and it's an educational process for them.
The sanctuary serves as a research and monitoring center that also does outreach and training programs. Jamaicans are invited to the Holland Bay Crocodile Sanctuary to learn more about the American crocodile. Knowing more will aid in our interaction with the animal and help us understand the many reasons why conservation is important. One of which is the fact that they have been described as wetland engineers.
In the wetland, you have areas that the crocodile would habitually go through, and it creates this channel and it connects that water source to another water source. Without those channels, they would then be overgrown by some of the reeds. Why this is important is that those channels allow for juvenile fish. It allows connectivity between the wetlands, the estuaries, and sometimes the sea.
Environmentally, it allows for better hydrology for mangroves. Getting back to where we started, while they're generally passive, crocodiles are predators, and certain conditions could see changes in behavior.
Behavioral change, just like any other animal, can be preempted by humans. So people feeding crocodiles somewhere where they know, so a fishing village, gutting the fish, throwing it. The crocodile gets used to that easy meal and associates people with being fed. Just like a dog or a cat that you usually feed and it comes around all the time. And we don't encourage this because it can lead to tragic interactions. A crocodile may see someone and now approach instead of retreating.
It is best to let the professionals deal with them.
The correct course of action is to notify the authorities, because depending on the situation, it may be a watch and see thing, or there may need to be some sort of intervention to protect both the person and the crocodile.
For more information, contact the National Environment and Planning Agency at 876-754-026 or visit the head office at 10 to 11 Caledonia Avenue, Kingston 5.
Do you own land and need a title? Well, the National Land Agency, NLA, can help. Through the systematic land registration process, the NLA will assist residents to get titles in declared project areas across Jamaica. Systematic land registration is the methodical and orderly registration of parcels of land in a designated area known as systematic adjudication area. For further information on the systematic land registration process, including declared systematic adjudication areas, who can apply and the benefits, visit the National Land Agency's website at www.nla.gov.jm or email asknla@nla.gov.jm. The National Land Agency, one agency, one goal.
Acne is a natural part of skin development for many people, but with the right care and information, it can be managed without affecting self-esteem. Dermatologist Dr. Burrell tells us more.
Whether it shows up as blackheads, whiteheads, dark spots, or painful pustules, acne can affect people at any stage of life. For many persons, especially teenagers, it is more than just a phase. Whether it's triggered by hormone stress or even heat, it can affect confidence and self-esteem. Dermatologist Dr. Carol Burrell tells us more.
There are about four main things that occur. First, I think the most important thing is hyperkeratosis or obstruction of the pores. So when you get the pores being obstructed, then the grease cannot flow out and you get the formation of pimples underneath the skin. The other thing involved in the etiology of acne is bacteria Corynebacter acnes, and this is present in the follicle. The bacteria causes inflammation, and so you get pustules. Also, we have sebaceous gland hyperplasia, so the grease glands become very active at puberty and they produce a whole lot of grease. The foods you eat can aggravate or make the situation worse. So high glycemic foods, so sugary foods, a lot of candy, a lot of sweet drinks, chocolates, those can cause the acne to become worse, but they do not cause the acne. They've also found that some types of milk, dairy produce, can also make the acne worse.
You don't have to see a dermatologist to start treating acne, though it's a good idea. There are over-the-counter options that can help.
Persons can start with WatchJIS with salicylic acid, help to exfoliate and unblock the pores. Benzoyl peroxide WatchJIS will also help to remove some of the grease and from the pores. And facial scrubs can also. So you can do things that will help the surface.
However, when you visit a doctor or dermatologist, you may be prescribed a retinoid, a treatment that helps to clear pores and to prevent breakouts.
In getting rid of the bacteria out of the skin, you can use topical antibiotics, that's antibiotic creams. So we prescribe antibiotic creams. Benzoyl peroxide products also help with removing bacteria from the skin. And sometimes we also prescribe antibiotics by mouth.
For teenager Natalia, acne was not just about breakouts. It affected how she felt about herself.
So when I first noticed the bumps on my face, I was surprised by it because before I never really had that amount of bumps, and it was a lot. I have to say it was a lot. So I felt less confident about it. Like I felt like I should hide my face from anybody who had to look at my face and see the bumps, because many people noticed it actually. A lot of people, many people came up to me and told me, Natalia, what's wrong with your face? So I was kind of annoyed by it, but I tried my best. I tried everything to try and clear up my face because it really brought down my self-confidence.
But after using the right products and sticking to routine, Natalia began seeing improvements and consequently feeling better about her skin and herself. Her advice for others still suffering:
don't let it bring down your self-confidence. If someone mentions it, just say okay. Because you have to go on whether or not that is on your face. So just go on in life, ignore people.
Getting treatment early can prevent your child from having spots and scars and getting that feeling of a low self-esteem, because that really can bother them and can affect their schoolwork and affect, of course, their outcome in life.
We've come to the end of today's show, but be sure to join us again tomorrow for another lineup focused on keeping you informed about the government's policies and initiatives aimed at building a better Jamaica. You can visit our website at jis.gov.jm to rewatch this program or catch up on others available on the site. I'm Theodore Henry saying thanks for watching from our production team here at the JIS.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.